Hello, welcome back. I hope this video finds you well. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing one of my favorite budgeting topics, sinking funds. If that's something you are interested in learning more about and want to see what sinking funds we have for 2022, then stick around. Hi there, my name is JoJo. On this channel, I share with you our family's journey to financial freedom. I post videos about paycheck budget forecasts, weekly check-ins, sinking funds, and also debt, net worth updates. And then I also share with you how our family incorporates a velocity banking strategy into our budgeting system. We are a two-income household. My husband and I get paid bi-weekly, and we are paycheck by paycheck, zero-based cashless budgeters. If you would like to follow along with us on this financial journey, then please hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. We were new to budgeting. We first started in September of 2019, like really dabbling with budgeting. What we were doing before was really chaotic and not consistent and unreliable. But through the YouTube budget community, watching videos, we really were able to develop a budgeting system that worked well for us. If you are new to budgeting and are starting to work your way through the budgeting process, your debt will inevitably reveal its horrible face, and that's what happened to us. So we started budgeting in September of 2019, really wrote down all of our debts in February of 2020, and I posted my first YouTube debt confession video in June of 2020. So all through 2020, for the most part, we were laser focused on our debt. We weren't thinking about savings. I hadn't really discovered much about sinking funds. It wasn't a part of my financial vocabulary yet at that time, and we'd also paused some investments. Then moving into 2021, I had posted a video, I think it was called Sinking Funds, What 2020 Revealed to Me Was Missing from My Budget, or something like that. And I have just been in love with sinking funds since then. They have been what has made our budget feel more sustainable, more realistic. It's allowed us to feel like our finances can enrich our lives and that we can still be responsible with our money while also having these life experiences. Because of time with family, time for adventures, that's the one thing that you cannot buy back. With that being said, these are the sinking funds that we are starting 2022 with, and these are sinking funds that have had time to build up over the last year, almost a year and a half. My list has grown as I've moved through the year and discovered things that I wanted to contribute sinking fund money to. First, home maintenance. How we decided how much to contribute to that. I had heard somewhere that your home maintenance sinking funds or home maintenance savings should be 1% of the value of your home for a year to cover a year's worth of home maintenance. We had used a home value of $300,000. If you watched my debt and net worth update video, then you see that our house is currently valued at $490,000. I am considering bumping this up, recalculating the 1% of our house value, because again, this needs to account for inflation, and inflation is real, y'all. Like, that has, I think it was a lot more sneaky or stealthy in past years, but with the state of our economy, the state of the world, inflation has kind of gone bonkers, right? I'm going to, for now, leave it at this $250. So let's crunch some numbers. So if I'm valuing my house at $300,000 and I'm saying I'm going to do 1% for the entire year, so $3,000 is what I need to have available throughout the entire year towards my house. And I like to contribute to my sinking funds monthly. So if I contribute monthly, I'll divide that by 12. And that's where that $250 came from. That I just do a constant contribution every month. Our house HOA, we pay this quarterly. It's about $115 every quarter. So if you do the 115, 3 months makes up a quarter. We divide that by 3. I just rounded it to $38. Our timeshare, this is about $480, $440. This is for grounds maintenance, an HOA fee. Yes, we do own a timeshare. Our timeshare is paid off. Really, our incentive for this timeshare was we live next to the lake where this timeshare grounds is. So we have access to private beach, clubhouse, amenities. Next is Amazon Prime. Yes, of course we have that. Doesn't everybody? So we just save, it's about $120 annually. And so $120 divided by 12 months, we contribute $10 a month. Our waste management, this is our garbage. That is also quarterly, and dividing that quarterly amount, we just divided it by the 3 months. It came to this $28.91. This one for my kids. I have 2 little kids, an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. Kids are expensive, you guys. Clothes, we live where there's all seasons. So shoes, coats, extracurricular activities for my kids. If they're in t-ball and they need cleats, or my daughter's in karate, it covers her karate, her gi, her yearly dues, patches, all that stuff. Everything for my kids is covered with this sinking fund. And I've just kind of adjusted the monthly amount that I contribute based on, I try to keep this total amount a nice round number. So whatever I need to round it off to, I contribute to the sinking funds that I find require a lot of money all the time. And again, this is not a sinking fund that has one time a year or a set date that it's due. It's a constant thing. So it's just grown over the last year to be this $170. As you can see, it is short. Obviously the entire account is not short, but this sinking fund did go into the negative, unfortunately. Next is this gifts and holidays. This covers kids' birthdays, birthday parties, Mother's Day, Father's Day, friends, family birthday parties, our birthday gifts. Again, I have young kids. We have Valentine's Day coming up, so all of the goodies that go with that. St. Patrick's Day, Easter, all of that stuff is housed within the sinking fund. And what I found is that there are some parts of the year that it gets drained a lot, but it does eventually end up balancing out. So I don't stress too much about this negative amount because I know there's some dry months where we don't have birthdays, we don't have holidays, and it has time to build up. But again, it's this weird number just because of some of these other numbers that have a specific amount. I just rounded this to make it a nice even number. Christmas, we ended Christmas under budget. We were under budget by $38.42. I contribute about a total of $1,800 I want to have by Christmas. And this was the first year that I had budgeted for Christmas. Like, wrote down what I was expecting each person's gift to be, how much we were expecting to spend on cards and clothes for pictures, giving, all of, Christmas lights, ornaments. it was very revealing. Teachers' gifts, like all of that stuff. I am so glad that I did that. I feel better prepared moving into the next year. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised to see that we were under budget, and we are going to start saving for Christmas in January for this year. I loved having this. It made for a stress-free Christmas. This category I have renamed Adventures. It used to be called Vacation. We live next to a ski resort, and it's costly to go skiing, especially for 4 people if I want to pay for ski lessons for my kids. And it's not something that I wanted to try to work into our variable expenses, like our family fun variable expense category for our paycheck budget. I didn't want our paychecks to have to kind of incur that cost, because if it's during winter time, you're already spending a lot of money around that time. And so I changed this to Adventures. So anytime we want to go do something that's not a full-on vacation, that's more of a family experience, we have this sinking fund. Car maintenance, pretty self-explanatory. We are going to be using some of this money to go into a brokerage account instead. I did pull out $1,000 from here this month to get that M1 Finance brokerage account rolling. Water park, we live next to a water park. We get Black Friday ticket deals, and we can save a lot of money for season passes because we go to that a lot during the summertime. This Norton, it's a subscription that we have, similar to Amazon, $120 per year. School pictures, I have 2 young kids. They will typically do school pictures in the spring and fall. It's about $50 per kid per package. So that's $100 per kid per year just in school pictures. I have decided to only purchase 1 season per year, so only 1 package per year per kid. And I have set aside a sinking fund for that cost. Family pictures, this was another category that we'd used last year. I've decided that we're only going to do family pictures every other year. It's about $500 to $600 for family pictures. And so once this is built up to that amount, I'm going to stop contributing to that and then just reallocate this money probably to gifts and holidays or kids again, because these are the 2 that seem to always need money. But that's our plan with family pictures. Certifications, this is for professional certifications. We also enjoy fishing, so we get fishing licenses every year. That's to pay for those. We have pets. We have 2 dogs and 3 fish tanks and a bearded dragon. The fish and the bearded dragon don't really go to the vet. They're pretty healthy, you know, knock on wood. But our pets, our dogs, they go to the vet annually for their wellness checkup. They get their vaccines. We just got a puppy. He is going to need to be neutered. I'm going to be going to the vet next week actually and asking her how much it will cost for shots, for neuter, so I can come back and better predict how much this is going to need. We also use this to purchase our puppy. He was $800 and we just paid for that from the sinking fund, which was so nice to have. Our Costco membership, again, $120 every year. We just paid for that in November, so it's building back up. I have a Capital One travel card. It has a yearly fee, and it's coming up in August, so I think it's like $75 or something like that. So it's about $8 a month that I need to contribute to that. Next is this electronics sinking fund. This was a newer one during 2021. I need a new computer. We have had the same laptop for oh my goodness, it's been almost, it's probably been 10 years that we have had this laptop, and it's good. I mean, it does the job. I feel like I've probably grown accustomed to how slow it is and the access to certain programs that it does not have. And so I just don't know what I'm missing out on. But we're building this up. This will also go towards if we need to buy a new cell phone, if we need, I have a camera, anything for the camera, batteries, anything like that. Electronics, all encompassing. And I have loved having this because we live in an electronic age and electronics are expensive. These last two, we don't really contribute anything, or these two, the Maface and Dad Bod, these get money through our budget. So this is our paycheck budget forecast. My husband and I each have $80 of spending every 2 weeks. If we don't spend all of that money, whatever is left over gets rolled into this Maface or Dad Bod category. And that money is built up. We found we use it more for like my husband if he wants to go golfing, if I need to buy any more expensive beauty products, clothes, anything like that, is all kind of built up through these sinking funds. This one I just added this year. We changed our kids' insurance, and we're trying to, through our jobs, there's only one time a year that you can choose a contribution to a flexible spending account. We have dependent care flexible spending accounts and medical flexible spending accounts. We're transitioning, we're kind of in this transition period where we don't have access to money so much for my kids through this sinking fund or through the flexible spending accounts. So I started this sinking fund. It started at $0 for the new year, but I did use some extra money that we had to add $100 to it. I haven't quite decided how much I'm going to add. We're thinking around March is when we can change around our contributions and not be able to use those. More so with like our task card, like the debit card that they give you, and use those at the doctor's office and the pharmacy and stuff. Our job, both my husband and myself, they don't have an HSA. I don't know much about an HSA, like if you can sign up for one outside of your network. If any of you know or have suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to learn more about that. But for now, we're just making a sinking fund for it. All of the sinking funds, so these right here that we know for sure we're contributing to every month, it adds up to $1,800 per month. Yes, it is a lot of money. We could use some of that to go more towards debt, more towards investing, but I am all about balance. I'm a Libra, so I'm all about balance, and I feel like there is enough in each of those pies, the investment, savings, and debt payoff pies, to feel good and feel sustainable for our family. And sinking funds, you know, these I feel like are where your budget can really become personalized, because obviously this is a reflection of what we have going on in our lives and where our priorities are set. It's not going to be the same for everyone, and the amount you're able to contribute, the amount that you need to contribute is going to be very, very different. But I just wanted to share with you guys how our sinking funds have came about, how we decided how much to contribute, and how we handle our contributions. Next, the most common question is like, where do you keep your sinking funds? We follow a velocity banking strategy, which is very unconventional. So these sinking funds, you can see it's almost $7,000. It is housed within our home equity line of credit because that is where our student loan is housed. So it is holding down a principal balance that can be charged interest on. It's it sounds confusing. I have an entire series on velocity banking if you guys want to check that out, but that is where we keep our sinking funds. I track the flow of money on a separate velocity banking tracker, but a common place I hear people storing their sinking funds is usually through like a high yield savings account, because as you can see, like it ends up growing even if you're only contributing small amounts. Over time, the power of that time and consistency, you can end up with a big chunk of change. And you could be making money off of your money, which is great. We're saving money off of our money right now is what we're doing. But high interest savings accounts, people also have like a separate checking account. That's what we had before we transitioned to the velocity banking strategy, because I need really easy access to this money. But I think Capital One has a lot of options for people with their with different accounts, with different account options that are really awesome. Is one that I've seen pretty commonly. But that is it. Those are our sinking funds, what we're starting with in 2022. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. That is going to be my last video for this week. Next week, I'm going to be starting with my weekly check-ins, and we're going to do another paycheck budget forecast. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.